Hello, garden friends. Welcome to my March backyard garden tour. My name is Liz. I garden in California, Zone 9B, and I can't wait to show you around. This is the center of my garden. I call this my iron plant stand. Somebody actually handcrafted this using rebar. They didn't want it. They left it out on the street, and a friend of mine saw it and said, I know Liz will love this for her garden. And they were right. In the lower pots, I'm growing daffodils. In the summertime, when the daffodils are gone, I usually grow vinca in there. And all this creeping jenny and creeping vinca, these are usually ground covers, but I love growing them in hanging baskets. In the summertime, they will trail all the way down and reach the ground. And this is what it looks like in the evening when my Dollar Tree solar lights start to glow. Inside this vintage bathtub, I'm growing some purple cabbage and Brussels sprouts. I didn't get any Brussels sprouts this year. It's now bolting and going to seed, but that's okay. Sometimes I just like to grow things because the foliage is bright and colorful. And all the little daisies inside the vintage bathtub are popping up from seed. Behind all that are some snapdragons. I call this little area my cottage garden. And if you notice, I have more stacked pots over here because I try to make use of all the space in my garden that I have. All these little plants are fringe poppies. I just scattered a bunch of seeds and they all came up. And I got those sunflower stakes at the dollar store. This is the newest area in my garden. I call this my bird bath garden. And underneath the bird bath, I'm growing colorful primroses. I don't have anything growing up the arbor just yet, but I did plant some sweet peas, and it looks like they're starting to come up. In the center of my bird bath, I have a little solar fountain, and it does really good. I just keep rocks around it so it can't float off to the side. Plus, it gives the little birds something to stand on. And this is one of my favorite garden areas. I call this area my bridge garden. The little boy is Freddie the Fisher, and that's his fish friend Finn. I love the way the chartreuse green, the lemon coral sedum, looks next to the blue river rock. It's just colored glass I got at the landscaping store. And if you notice my clever mirror trick, it looks like the stream is going around my house, but that's just a mirror. I figured the mirror is a lot nicer to look at than the stucco wall. And my beautiful lilac vine is in full bloom. At first, I didn't think this was the best spot for it, but now that it's blooming, I'm going to keep it right where it is. I call this little area in my garden my cactus corner. I have a bunch of succulents in these fun and colorful pots that I made. I either paint them or glue tile on them, and I guess you could call that a mosaic, the one that has the blue on it. And in the center is a metal sculpture that my neighbor's son made. It looks like roses. Pink cordyline in the center with some pops of yellow ranunculus underneath. I made this pot to look like a watermelon. I will admit though, when you paint terracotta pots, because they're so porous, the paint does eventually peel, so I probably won't be painting anymore, but it was definitely a fun experiment. I suppose you could grow succulents in those pots. That way you wouldn't have to water them as much. So maybe I'll do that next time instead of, you know, flowers that require weekly or daily watering. And check out my amaryllis bulbs. Who said amaryllis only grow at Christmas time? I just put them outside and let nature take its course, and they always come up for me in spring. My nasturtium comes back from seed every year, and right now it's trailing up the cattle panel arbors. And if you look inside, you'll see a cute little pink geranium. But the nasturtiums come in so many different colors, ranging from yellows to oranges, and right now they're peaking. They love this cooler weather. And before the summertime, I expect that they'll trail all the way out to my patio. I just added these 3 Jack Daniel whiskey barrels to my garden. I used to have tire planters. You know, tires worked when money was tight, so I would never knock them, but I kind of outgrew them, and I love these whiskey barrels much more. Inside, I'm growing strawberries, some violas, and a miniature rose in each one. Because my garden is so small, I like to stack pots to give it height. Since I don't have a lot of room in my garden for a lot of plants, I just make more room by growing things vertically. And I don't know about you, but I think it's so pretty the way the Carolina jasmine dropped its blossoms, and it looks like yellow snow on the ground. Isn't that just so pretty? This is my children's fairy garden, and that's Abby modeling for you. I got all those decorations and make-believe stepping stones at the Dollar Tree, and I decorated my fairy garden in spring with cyclamen. I don't know what Abby's looking at, but yes, I paint all my doors. My granddaughter painted that door with the hands on it. And I just love that cute little antique ice cream parlor chair with all the little Dollar Tree decorations. And a little bottle tree. I just hammered rebar in the ground and stuck bottles and vases on top. It's just how I add color to my garden. And over here is my succulent propagation station, where I experiment and regrow succulents. And if you notice, I have a new bottle tree growing in the pot. Sometimes it could be difficult to hammer rebar in the ground, but you can still have a bottle tree with a flower pot. It's much easier to stick them in flower pots. And then I go to the thrift store or yard sales and find colored bottles and vases. I am starting some seeds down there. Those are zinnias. And because this area gets morning sun, my succulents absolutely love it. And if you notice all the cute little bird houses and bird decorations, I got those at the local thrift store. And speaking of color, this is my happy place. This is underneath my patio, where I just collect a bunch of yard sale finds, thrift store treasures, and just a bunch of colorful things that make me happy. My hellebore has not bloomed just yet, but it has put on a lot of new growth. And look at my beautiful maidenhair fern. I've never been able to grow houseplants, but for some reason, this one is thriving in that sink. It must just get the right amount of light and protection from the weather. And those are real authentic license plates. You know, a lot of people wouldn't add this stuff to their garden, but that's okay because our gardens are personal and we're the ones who are in them. So whatever makes you happy, don't worry about the rules, don't worry about what other people do. You're the one who's in the garden. And that's my sweet little Abby. Hi, Abby. She knows John is out there feeding the big dogs. I'm gonna secretly film him without him knowing it. You can come out. Say hello.
Hi. Sorry for my hair.
I would say for March, my garden isn't looking half bad. And while I understand that spring may not have yet arrived in your area, perhaps my garden tour will give you some ideas and inspiration for when your spring garden finally arrives, which I know will be very, very soon. Thanks for watching.